Skyrim is being played for a decade by hundreds, thousands of people, still, and for reason. It is enormous vast world and an endless journey, fun to do already for the journey's sake alone. But when it comes to fights, vanilla Skyrim combat is just hideous. It is too slow, AI is too dumb, and fights are repetitive and predictable to the state it's just boring after some time. This video will help you out to not just artificially improve, but truly remaster Skyrim combat, bringing it much closer to a good combat in modern action RPGs, with the help of a dedicated mod list. Using these mods, you will make Skyrim combat much more dynamic, fast-paced, tactical, aggressive, and simply more rewarding and fun, making you feel yourself all fired up and satisfied after the battles. Let's take a look. Let's begin from fixing a small, but probably one of the most notorious and ridiculous Skyrim combat AI bugs. Ever happen to lure your enemies in the water? Yeah, enemies simply will just stay in the water and look and curse at you angrily, but just do not come up. NPC AI Behavior Fixes mod helps with just that. Now human and humanoid like Dream Aura's enemies will be able to actually swim towards you, get out from the water and continue their attack. No more luring 20 bandits into the lake and shooting them with your iron bow at level 1 for hours. Get ready to stand your riverbank. Another part of combat which was not directly a bug, but rather a lazy oversight, is that enemies in combat can instantly rotate in mid-air. That's why any dodge mod, for instance, gives you a short invincibility time when you dodge, because without it, even a perfect dodge would be useless as enemies are literal aimbots. No more with Mortal Enemies mod, which will greatly decrease their capability to turn in the middle of attack, making this combat aspect much more realistic. Optionally, you can also install a somewhat similar mod, which is called Enemy Mage Lock, which locks enemy mages in place when they are casting spells. Optional, because this will make fighting enemy mages easier, of course, and this mod is usually needed if you have difficulty increasing mods and mods which allow enemies to use modded perks and spells. About that a bit later. Another silly oversight was that crossbows in the game didn't require you to actually reload the crossbow, so they were basically automatic. With the reasonable reloading mod, you will need to reload your crossbow manually with a hotkey which you can assign in a mod configuration menu. The sneaking in Bethesda open world games is purely broken to the point enemies often can't detect you even in a plain sight or in a feet distance. Realistic AI detection mod is a simple yet effective stealth overhaul, which makes enemies more attentive to noise levels as well as actions and give them more accurate vision cone. Mod also has several versions, so you can pick anything in terms of difficulty for sneaking, from a soft vanilla plus to a hardcore recalibration. Locational damage exists in many action RPGs and lots of games in general, but previously any such kind of mods for Skyrim required super heavy scripting, which in turn was making them unstable up to breaking your save with time. Locational Damage SKSE plugin is a mod which does just that, a fully functional locational damage system, but entirely through SKSE scripts which do not affect your save and performance. You can also fully configure the mod, injuries for both player and enemies or only enemies, their probability on hit and so on in the ini file. Dodging is an essential combat mechanic for almost every RPG nowadays, so being able to dodge in Skyrim, especially with combat mods installed, is a must-have. There are two mods here to choose from, the TK Dodge or the Ultimate Dodge mod. TK Dodge has more configuration options but allows only 4 dodge directions, forwards, backwards, left and right, while the Ultimate Dodge mod allows 8 dodge directions, adding diagonal directional dodges, but it is somewhat less configurable. The Ultimate Dodge mod also has a neat option to allow NPCs dodge in combat and adjust their dodge frequency, which makes a terrific addition to combat challenge and pace. Both also allow to choose between a sidestep dodge or a dodge roll animations, and TK Dodge has several add-ons which provide even more new dodging animations. As for the general and complex overhaul of combat on many levels, there is no better combination of mods than Wildcat and Ultimate Combat. With these two installed, enemies' AI will be drastically improved, they will be more aggressive, try to corner you, enemy mages will heal wounded allies, and so on. On top of general AI improvements, Wildcat adds lots of small features like stamina cost for regular attacks, backstabs, attacks of opportunity, and also injuries, which you should disable in MCM, as there will be a mod further in the list with a more complex approach to this. On top of that, Ultimate Combat adds several special configuration options for unique enemies like Dragon Priests or Dwarven Centurions, as well as unique combat moves for humanoid enemies like jump attacks, etc. It also adds some cosmetic combat stuff like flashy visuals for melee hits, with every single feature being toggleable and configurable in MCM. You should also surely disable locational damage, and if you're using the Ultimate Dodge mod, the dodge feature for enemies in Ultimate Combat MCM, as we already have more sophisticated mods for this. Previously we disabled injury system in Wildcat MCM because now the wounds mod takes the watch. Now in combat you may receive debilitating wounds and injuries that require actual medical attention and time to mend. With the mod installed, you now should actually pay attention to combat and fight tactically to get as less hits as possible, because the more damage you receive, the more there will be a chance to get an injury, such as cuts, concussions, bruises, and even broken bones. Every type of injury has own condition and own stages of severity. For instance, cuts are relatively weak injuries, but can cause infections later if not healed properly. Broken bones is the most severe injury type, but it has limitations to what attacks can apply this, only maces, two-handed weapons or the large monster hits. With the new injuries, there are also new ways to prevent them from happening and treat them faster, creating a complex but interesting system of staying effective in combat. Mod is also fully configurable in MCM, so you can tweak it from a hardcore to a really lightweight difficulty. Stamina matters, no more useless stamina is a complete overhaul for stamina usage in the game. In vanilla game, stamina was consumed only for sprinting and power attacking, making it super weird as all other actions would of course cost less stamina, but they should cost something at least, as well as you were still able to run and attack at 0 stamina too. No more attacking, blocking, drawing a bow, jumping at 0 stamina, rendering a complete new meaning for stamina in the game other than just a limiter for sprinting and power attacks. Stamina is now actually something that matters, and you should put that into consideration during combat. While this mod may sound totally hardcore, you can also toggle every feature on and off separately, as well as adjust the stamina cost for all actions. To make things more fair, you can also enable the same feature set for NPCs as well. Note, if you will use this mod stamina cost for attacks, make sure to disable similar features in a Wildcat MCM. Have you ever wondered why you do not feel a scene when hitting something, be it a bandit or even a tree? Every object is material and should have some stopping power, a feeling that you actually hit something, but Skyrim just does not provide that. The hit stop effect doesn't affect combat directly, but gives a pleasant feeling to the player when fighting, and freshly released stop on slash hit stop redux mod helps with this better than anything else. Not only it is the most immersive, configurable and widely compatible hit stop mod, but it also works on NPCs, so you see the hits of enemies and allies around, also having an actual visual impact. Configuration is the best part of this mod, as you can configure the hit stop parameters not only for all kind of objects like NPCs or trees and rocks, but also configure them for different weapon types, everything separately, allowing to build the utmost perfect, realistic and natural hit stop effect for everything up to your personal taste. While the next mod is also not directly affecting combat in form of AI, damage modifiers or new skills, it could be a complete game changer for many players. True Directional Movement mod overhauls the third-person gameplay similarly to modern action RPGs, entirely through SKSE. It allows you to move and attack in any direction, which may sound simple and sort of inconsequential at first, but as soon as you feel it in the game, it becomes instantly clear how large the combat impact is. Mod also includes a custom target lock component and a an animated target reticle widget, target head tracking, projectile aim support during target lock, mount support. Yes, you can ride and fight at the horseback in all directions while rotating camera all around, and more, fully modular and customizable through MCM. It is somewhat strange that a simple sword can perform thousands and thousands of swings, hit bodies, armors, even stones, and still can be in a perfect shape as just forged, right? Same goes for the armor. If you want some combat realism here, you can install either loot and degradation or equipment durability system mods to have a durability system for armors and weapons, making them degrade on hits and you taking care of them from time to time. And tempered items no longer retain their tempered state forever. Mod also allows the smiths in the game to help you with repairing and tempering your items, as well as to craft a portable repair kits. The mod differ in a feature sets a bit. Loot and degradation has more features and an in-game mod configuration menu, while equipment durability system is more simple and can be configured only via the ini file, but its scripts do not affect performance at all because of made through SKSE. Chugging the healing, magicka, stamina and other kind of supportive potions is an essential part of the fight, and at some point game becomes too easy as due to the bloated economy you'll have abundance of potions, which you can spam almost endlessly. Chasing the dragon mod adds toxicity effects and addiction, imposing a soft cap on potion consumption so you will not be able to endlessly mass consume healing potions every millisecond. Your character will slowly feel the side effects of consuming too many potions, similar as it's made in the Witcher series. This said, you can configure it in any way you want, so it can be both a hardcore and a very lightweight immersion feature. At this point, we have improved the combat AI of every enemy in the game, aside from the strongest ones, dragons. Dragon Combat Overhaul greatly improves the AI of dragons, making them more cunning and smart foes they always should have been. Dragons will fly more, land and attack more unpredictably, have realistic physics so their tail or wing hits can send you flying. This, by the way, can be completely countered by blocking or using a ward. And being smart creatures, they can now even fly away when wounded and return with the reinforcements later on. Mod also adds new features like dragon assaults and cosmetic features like epic death animations. Most of those features can be configured in the MCM. If you're using mods which overhaul or add new perks and spells, the only who can use all of them in the game is you. By default, game is not able to properly distribute new perks and spells to enemies, and the cherry on the cake stop, Aziz mod, comes to the rescue by doing just that, distributing mod-added spells and perks to the enemies, making combat much more fair and, most importantly, fun. To keep things balanced and not distribute too strong spells and perks to the enemies, you can download my personal set of ini files for this mod, already calibrated for the best result. Smart NPC potions, enemies use potions and poisons is the finishing touch in the combat overhaul. This small yet brilliant mod makes it so enemies sometimes carry and use a couple of potions and poisons just like you can do, healing themselves, restoring stamina, poisoning their blades, sometimes even using invisibility potions and so on, fully configurable in MCM. That's it, folks. Thanks for watching, and I hope you picked some mods for your own ultimate mod setup. Make sure to enable channel notifications and join our Discord to always stay in touch. If you want to see ultra-modded games like Skyrim, Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077 and cool indie game walkthroughs in real time, make sure to drop a sub to my Twitch account. And for the handwritten nerdy news and reviews of indie games, TV series and tech, take a peek at the Wire's website. Everything linked down below right after the mod list. Stay tuned, stay healthy and stay happy. Scimitar Gaming here, signing out.